Let's execute an immediate, high-gear tactical vector shift away from suburban relationship sabotage and domestic stalker loops and plunge directly back into the cold, calculation-heavy tracking grids of international black-budget operations, rogue intelligence execution cells, and the deeply lethal world of military espionage tracking. We are crossing the threshold directly into the hyper-monitored urban sniper perimeters, deep cover safe houses, and lethal retaliatory parameters of an absolute shadow warrior with noble revenge, the exceptional, pulse-pounding 15th structural deployment anchoring the globally dominant chart-topping Jack Noble series by the absolute undisputed sovereign of high-octane political assassin thrillers, L.T. Ryan. This high-stakes narrative tracking sequence delivers a thrilling look at an operational crossroads where a personal blood debt, an intricate grid of intelligence agency betrayals, and an absolute defense of an elite operative survival metrics collide at terminal velocity. Let's lay out the strategic narrative grid. If you are a fan of high-octane, slow-burn espionage thrillers, where a battle-hardened, hyper-brilliant rogue government asset must navigate an absolute maze of corrupt intelligence directors, deniable black ops cleanup teams, and a deadly ring of state-sponsored executioners while running a blind survival loop inside a compromised global ecosystem, where an analytical mind uses deep combat tracking, structural interrogation scanning, and absolute psychological stamina to outmaneuver institutional conspiracies, and where the author utilizes an incandescent, rogue operative unearthing a lethal bureaucratic scandal diagnostic routine to test our hero's structural survival perimeters, this book is engineered to lock you in. Ryan completely dominates the military conspiracy noir dynamic, capturing the heart-racing intellectual momentum, suffocating agency paranoia, and heavy psychological depth popularized by genre vargs like Lee Child, Vince Flynn, Brad Thor, and Mark Greaney, while treating complex terminal ballistics, global asset tracking networks, and protective black ops counter-surveillance tradecraft grids with absolute technical mastery. The narrative tracking grid zeroes in on the lethal blueprint of Jack Noble, a masterfully calculated weapon of independent survival operating under a severe calculation-heavy handicap of personal grief and institutional betrayal. Behind the shifting tactical operations and global safehouse footprints lies an intricate matrix of hidden agency file networks, heavily guarded black-budget asset accounts, and tense, high-stakes tradecraft maneuvers. His collective defense mechanisms are locked down tight behind a lifetime of wet work experience, his entire analytical focus strictly consumed by monitoring sudden governmental threat vectors, parsing complex deep cover intelligence syndicates, and shielding his vulnerable operational network from being entirely wiped out by a ruthless intelligence community cleanup offensive. The spark ignites when an unexpected, high-frequency structural anomaly breaches his active scanning perimeter. A personal betrayal hits too close to his inner sanctum, revealing that the old ghosts of his Black Ops past have re-engaged their active tracking loops. The official diagnostic metrics of global intelligence centers flash white-hot as the explosive, long-hidden surveillance logs reveal a toxic historical secret that threatens to permanently decapitate the leadership of a massive rogue intelligence wing an active tracking sequence engages. The standard boundaries of deniable government operations crumble, and our central protagonist runs completely out of standard diplomatic escape vectors. He is thrust directly into an active, invisible war across multiple continents, where deep cover intelligence execution squads, highly trained corporate cleanup mercenaries, and calculation-heavy administrative blockades launch aggressive countermeasures to permanently suppress his data stream. The tactical parameters instantly explode as his historical and survival warfare turns completely active, transforming the sleek capitals of Europe and the shadow-drenched underworld of back-alley extraction zones into a volatile psychological pressure cooker and a physical battle zone. Our veteran survivalist warrior is forced to deploy his massive intuitive tradecraft, environmental mapping skills, and raw, high-caliber tactical stamina to maintain his perimeter before the agency's protective cleanup forces close in. When deceptive intelligence directors, corrupt political fixers, and calculation-heavy drone surveillance grids launch aggressive plays to delete his witness trail, his survival instincts engage his final deployment tracks. Every midnight firefight, every silent choice to slip across a secure national border behind standard custom screens, and every intense moment of channeling raw, precision tactical tradecraft chips away at his reliance on original defensive rules. What follows is an exceptional, high-stakes war of perspective, tactical position, and raw human grit. We watch the deep state empire's deceptive perimeters completely unwrapped as Ryan reveals that the true victory requires more than just making a public disclosure or completing a routine mission. It demands an absolute, uncompromising defense of personal honor and individual survival against a cold, calculating state machine. While our central characters smooth over each other's psychological and defensive blind spots with devastating analytical force, a brutal series of close-quarters tactical confrontations and high-stakes sniper duels shifts the clock into its terminal phase, proving that historical emotional hazards have tracked them to their final outpost. To survive the impending locked grid trap and permanently secure his independence, our resilient hero must unleash an absolute, unyielding defense of his final boundary lines. It is a military espionage suspense, black ops action thriller, political corruption drama, high-velocity assassin noir masterpiece that treats deep tactical logistics and intense structural friction with elite precision. The tension here burns with a sharp, calculation-heavy intensity. We are talking about that high-frequency, one unmarked dossier triggers a fatal black-budget cleanup energy, where a sudden pause in a secure tracking terminal, an unexpected shift in an adversary's protective physical posture during an active close-quarters engagement, or a heavy, possessive realization that a ghost from your past has completely mapped your personal vulnerabilities carries massive structural weight. Ryan writes with an exceptionally fresh, vivid, and beautifully blunt voice, perfectly capturing the cold, metallic hum of suppressed firearms, the oppressive, heavy atmosphere of a rain-slick European alleyway, and the distinct, subtle scent of gun oil, cordite, old paper dossiers, premium passports, copper brass, and pure, unadulterated suspense. What truly elevates this 15th franchise entry into elite territory is the author's unmatched ability to balance realistic military combat mechanics and genuine high-stakes intelligence tradecraft, alongside a breathtaking narrative pace and deep conceptual hooks. Our protagonists don't rely on unbelievable, superficial Hollywood superhero action tropes. Their immense situational intelligence, strategic patience, and profound survival instincts match the complexity of the chaotic modern corporate and government underworld they dominate step for step, making their choices to risk everything feel profoundly authentic and deeply gripping. The pacing moves with calculated momentum, tracking intense conversational standoffs and breathtaking personal breakthroughs before ratcheting up to an absolute jaw-dropping conclusion that delivers total, hard-earned advancement to their horizon. Noble Revenge is the definitive, pro-level upgrade your high-stakes spy fiction and dark military suspense library demands right now. It is elegant, immensely fast-paced, and utterly unputdownable. It proves that when your entire sanctuary is targeted by a cold, calculating government monster, the most revolutionary play you can execute is to lock your perimeters, trust your elite survival training, and fight like hell alongside your network to rewrite the data. So, secure your personal reading sanctuary, review your emotional defensive perimeters, open your Kindle, and prepare to track the assets.